Hi guys, it is Tiny Little Whispers ASMR. This evening I have yet another true crime case for you, since you guys like these so much. Also, to make you aware, I plan on releasing a short questionnaire at some point over the next week. And basically, I'll just be asking questions to help make my channel better for you guys. So whenever you see that posted, if you wouldn't mind filling out the questions, that would be really helpful for me. So once again, I have my computer down below with notes on this case. So tonight, our case is about the missing woman, Lynn Messer. Lynn and her husband, Carrie, lived on a large farm in Bloomsdale, Missouri. The farm they lived on was over 250 acres. In July of 2014 is when Lynn went missing. Lynn and her husband, Carrie, had two sons named Aaron and Abram. They were both adults, but they all worked on the farm as a family. While Carrie worked on the farm, he also worked as a lobbyist, and this was for the Missouri Family Network. And this group says that they defend traditional family values. So the Messer family was extremely religious. Carrie and Lynn both wanted everyone to perceive them as being and having the perfect Christian family. On July 7th, in 2014, Lynn left the farm to buy supplies for the vacation Bible school that she was planning on teaching the next day. That night, she came home and proceeded to go to bed like usual. Around 4 a.m. the next morning, so this is now July 8th of 2014, Carrie Messer woke up due to a loud thunderstorm outside. Carrie did not spot his wife, Lynn, in bed, but he was initially not very concerned. Carrie assumed that Lynn had issues with their house, and there were several other bathrooms on the family property, and he just assumed that Lynn had went to another bathroom. When he did not hear any noise, he thought that maybe Lynn had gone on a long walk. She was known to take long walks at night if she had trouble sleeping. After a while, Carrie realized that it was still thunderstorming, and he assumed Lynn would not go on a walk with such precarious weather happening outside. Carrie grew slightly concerned, as Lynn's father had recently passed, and Lynn was also struggling with a hip issue that was not going to get better. Carrie decided to get up and go searching for his wife. This was approximately at 4:15 in the morning. Carrie did not spot Lynn in the house, so he decided to go look for her in the barn. When Carrie walked outside, he noticed that the family's four-wheeler was missing from its usual location. Carrie thought that maybe Lynn had taken the four-wheeler and driven to their son's house, which was also on the family's property. This house belonged to their son Abram and his wife Elizabeth. Carrie and Lynn also had another son named Aaron, but he did not live on the same property. So Carrie went to Abram's house and began pounding on the door. When he realized that the four-wheeler he was searching for was outside. Abram and Elizabeth woke to Carrie pounding on the door. When they answered the door, Carrie asked who brought the four-wheeler. Abram stated that he had taken the four-wheeler home after work one day. Carrie then realized that Lynn had not moved the four-wheeler and that she was still missing. Carrie turned to Abram and said, "I don't know where your mother is," and then he left. Abram was not alarmed and went back to bed with Elizabeth. He assumed that his mother had gone to use a separate bathroom, and he assumed that his father had only come to his house since he thought the four-wheeler was stolen. Abram assumed that his mother had gone to another apartment located on the family property. This apartment was vacant, and he thought she had gone to use the restroom and had possibly fallen asleep or became confused. Abram knew about the septic issues going on at the house, but he had also told others at various points that his mom was terrible with directions and would sometimes even get lost on her own farm. Also, apparently one time when Abram was a young boy, he woke up to hear his mother crying downstairs in their home. When he arrived downstairs, Lynn said she was crying because she was lost and she could not find her way back to her own bed. Abram and Elizabeth went back to sleep, assuming that all was well after Carrie left. The next morning, Abram saw his father at several points, but never heard anything else, and he assumed that his father had found his mother. He went ahead and started working on the farm just like a normal day. Abram's brother Aaron, who did not live on the property, eventually arrived at the farm for work that day. When Aaron gets to the farm, he sees his father Carrie riding the four-wheeler, and Carrie stops Aaron. He asks Aaron what his plans were for the day. Aaron said he brought his kids to the farm because Lynn had promised to watch them while he worked on the farm and tended to some business in town as well. Carrie then said to Aaron, "Well, I cannot find your mother, and she left a note which makes me concerned." The note read as, "I am sorry, Pa, to put you through this. I love you with all my heart." There was more to the letter, but it has never fully been released to the public. Aaron grew very concerned and was worried that his mother had harmed herself. Aaron started to ask Carrie a lot of questions, and Carrie just hopped back on the four-wheeler and drove off. Aaron started searching for his mother himself around the house and the outbuildings. When he was unable to find her, he called 911. The dispatcher told him that an officer would arrive shortly. Aaron then calls Abram, who is still working on the property, has no idea what has happened. Abram tells Aaron how their father, Gary, insisted that he move their herd of cows to a new pasture that morning. Aaron interrupted him and told him exactly what was going on. He said that their mother was missing and told him about the note. Gary had spoken to Abram at several points that morning, but never mentioned the note or that his mother was still missing. Both Abram and Aaron agree to meet at the farmhouse so they can greet the police when they arrive. Gary found both of his sons at the farmhouse and found out that they had called police and grew very, very angry. When the police arrived due to the note, they started asking Gary if Lynn was ever depressed or anxious, and if she was on any medication. Gary denied all of this, saying that Lynn never dealt with any depression or anxiety. He also stated that Lynn was not on any medication to help for anxiety or depression. Both of the sons immediately knew that this was a lie. They knew that Lynn had been on antidepressants for several years. Abram interrupted and told the police that his mother was on medicine for depression. He even told the police that his mom at one point had thought about harming herself. She had gone into the barn with a weapon, but decided to not do anything. Gary grew angry with Abram and kept telling the police that he was lying. The police and both Abram and Aaron believed Gary was trying to cover up and act like he had the perfect family. The police set up a search party and did grid searches along all of the property. No one was able to find Lynn, and they also did not think she would harm herself and be able to hide the body, so they assumed foul play was involved. The police decided to bring in dogs at this next point to see if they could track Lynn's scent. The dogs were able to pick up on her scent going away from the farmhouse, but the trail stopped at the pasture where Gary had asked Abram to move the cows that morning. Having the cows in the way stopped the dogs from tracking the rest of Lynn's scent trail. The police asked Gary why he was so insistent on moving the cows that exact day, and Carrie stated that Lynn had told him previously the cows were overdue to be moved to another pasture. The police then searched the home, and while they found no signs of a break-in or foul play, they did find a bathroom with a lot of homemade bleach, which Carrie said Lynn and him would make to save on money. They also noticed that the bed of Carrie's truck was freshly washed, but he said that he bathed the dogs in his truck that morning. Another strange thing that was noticed was the note that Lynn wrote was in regular handwriting, and normally she would write all of her notes in cursive. After a few months, the searches died down for Lynn, and 7 months after her disappearance, Carrie announced that he was dating a longtime family friend named Spring Thomas. At one point, Lynn had even told a friend that if something were to happen to her, she would want Carrie to marry Spring. Carrie states that Spring and him did not become romantically involved until his wife had disappeared, but others say they were involved together much earlier. Still, the police were unable to find any information or any wrongdoing, so no one continued to search for Lynn. Fast forward 2 years to 2016, and Aaron goes out to find a good hunting spot on the property. While out, he found some bones and noticed a human skull. This was nearby the pasture where the cows had been moved and the dogs had found the scent trail. He immediately called 911. The bones were tested, and it was confirmed that they were the remains of Lynn Messer. The police stated that she had died 2 years ago, and her body had never been buried, but stayed in the same spot. So how the police never found her during their initial searches, I will never know, especially since they had done so many grid searches in the area. This case is very strange to me, and just the way that Carrie had acted surrounding the case, I do believe that there is some sort of foul play involved. By the fact that Lynn had gone shopping and talked about future plans, she wouldn't hurt herself. Her getting confused and lost, though, is strange. So I think either she perished, more of a natural cause, while out and confused, or foul play was definitely involved. It is very strange to me that her husband would date so soon after his wife had gone missing. But they could have had a weird pact or something set in place for if anything bad ever did happen to either of them. I do hope we receive more answers on this case soon, since the police were unable to determine an exact cause of death. We may never know unless science advances enough. I hope you guys enjoyed the case of Lynn Messer this evening. If you guys have any special case requests, let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you have a wonderful, nice, relaxful day or evening. Thank you.